because you like, I don't care. One play can cost us the game. You know, or you missing layups.
You won't believe what's emerged from Mike Tyson's training camp. Iron Mike is back in the gym, and he's got one of the most dangerous pound-for-pound fighters helping him prepare. Terence Crawford has reportedly been spotted working alongside the legend, and the target is none other than Floyd Mayweather.
Slide and drop. Punch it, point it, here we go. Drop, drop. Walking, walking, walking. Touch it.
Sources close to the situation suggest serious discussions are happening behind the scenes for what could be the biggest exhibition match in boxing history. Now, here's where it gets interesting. People around the camp claim Crawford isn't just there for show. Insiders say Bud has been breaking down Floyd's entire defensive system with Mike, showing him specific details most fighters never figure out. We're hearing about late-night film sessions where Crawford demonstrates exactly how Mayweather sets up his counters, the tiny weight shifts he makes before landing that check hook, and the footwork patterns that make him impossible to trap. One witness described these sessions as a masterclass in boxing intelligence.
Hard, go, 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 go. And then you start seeing the outcome, it's like, oh man, that was so inspiring, you know, how, you know, he'll run from the strip club. Like everybody think, you know, just cause he out there partying, he don't drink or smoke.
Right.
He'll run from the strip club.
Back
He
home.
always working, just working, working. And I just took that from Floyd. Like I just work nonstop.
But the really wild part, many believe Crawford has his own motivations here. Floyd never gave Bud that fight during his active years, and some think Crawford is getting a different kind of satisfaction by preparing someone to test Money Mayweather. Whether there's truth to that or it's just speculation, it definitely adds another layer to this whole
You know, Floyd was the B-side, and, you know, he beat De La Hoya, and then he started rising to the top. Ever be able to say he beat Mike Tyson.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
Mike Tyson, some older fighters want to test themselves and see if they still got it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a business.
The daily routine coming out of Mike's camp is absolutely insane for a 58-year-old man. Sources suggest Iron Mike is waking up at 5 a.m. for cardio work, and we're not talking about light jogging. People close to the situation claim he's doing intense pad work by 7, then studying film with Crawford for hours in the afternoon. One insider described Mike's focus as almost obsessive. He's apparently taking notes during film sessions, asking Crawford to replay certain sequences over and over until he completely understands the mechanics of what Floyd does.
That's tight. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What's fascinating is the specific drills they're reportedly working on. Unlike traditional boxing training where you just spar and hit bags, sources say Crawford has created custom scenarios designed specifically for Floyd's style. We're hearing about exercises where Crawford mimics Floyd's shoulder roll while Mike practices timing his shots for the exact moment when that defense might have microscopic openings. Another drill reportedly focuses on cutting off the ring without wasting energy, because everyone knows Floyd will try to make Mike chase him around.
Nice one, Mike. Nice one, Mike.
The sparring partners Mike's team has brought in tell us everything about how seriously they're taking this. Multiple reports claim they've recruited smaller, faster guys who can move like Floyd, not big heavyweights. We're talking about fighters in the 150 to 160 range who have slick defensive skills and can replicate that Mayweather style of making you miss and making you pay. One sparring partner apparently told people afterwards that Mike's timing is way better than anyone expected, and his power at 58 is still legitimate.
I'm gonna watch him fighting Mike. I think that's crazy. He's gonna have an exhibition with Tyson, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mike is so much bigger than him.
Yeah,
He's
but
so much bigger than him.
he's not gonna land a fist on Mayweather.
Right.
Not
gonna be
after
hard.
his last performance.
It's
It's heartbreaking to see a icon go out like that.
Here's something barely anyone is talking about: the diet and recovery protocols Mike's team has implemented. Sources claim they've brought in specialists who work with elite athletes to optimize everything from his sleep schedule to his meal timing. We're hearing about ice baths at specific times of day, massage therapy sessions that last over 2 hours, and a nutrition plan so strict that Mike's apparently eliminated everything except lean proteins, vegetables, and complex carbs. One person connected to the camp mentioned that Mike's body fat percentage has dropped significantly since training began. The supplement regimen is reportedly extensive too. Legal recovery aids, vitamins, and natural compounds that help with inflammation and joints.
Incredible.
You've been training?
Listen, I was wearing an extra large. It looks like I could wear a large now.
When you're 58 and training like a professional athlete, your body needs serious support to handle that kind of workload. Insiders say Mike's recovery between sessions has improved dramatically because of how scientific the whole approach has become.
But it's crazy also to see him fight at 57 years old. Like, that's
Yeah, but
nuts.
still, like, he shouldn't have been in there
No.
at all. You know, I think it's,
Needed the money.
it's other ways.
Yeah.
You know,
Now let's talk about what actual professional fighters are saying about this potential matchup, because the reactions have been all over the place. Andre Ward went on record saying that exhibitions between legends can be entertaining, but he questions whether Mike at this age can really trouble someone with Floyd's defensive genius. Ward pointed out that Mayweather's entire career was built on not getting hit, and age doesn't change ring IQ. But here's the interesting counterargument that's emerged from other pros.
Floyd Mayweather, at his age, fighting each other, old grudge match. Manny said, I want to give him his first loss and let him live with that for the rest of his life. I like how you talking, Manny. Mayweather still feels like he's Mayweather. Well, we gonna see. But he's still got to get through that Mike Tyson thing, and I don't know how that's gonna go. But
Sean Porter had a completely different take during a recent podcast appearance. Porter mentioned that Mike Tyson's power is genetic. It's built into his body structure and bone density. He argued that even at 58, if Mike lands clean on anyone, they're going to feel it seriously. Porter also brought up a point that most fans haven't considered. Floyd has never been in the ring with someone who has Mike's combination of speed and power at heavyweight. The psychological factor of facing that kind of punching threat might affect Floyd differently than people expect. Tim Bradley gave perhaps the most detailed breakdown during his analysis show. Bradley walked through how Floyd would likely approach this fight, staying on the outside, using his jab to keep distance, making Mike come to him and waste energy. But then Bradley said something that got everyone talking. He claimed that if Mike can somehow trap Floyd on the ropes, even once or twice, the fight could get extremely dangerous for Mayweather. Bradley specifically mentioned Mike's uppercuts and how they could...
If Mayweather really wanted this fight, he would have had this damn fight years ago. Mayweather has to do this fight because he need that bread. That's why. That's why. And it's funny when you have options. When you have options, yo, you can make your choice. When you doing great and you got money in the bank and you sitting pretty, yeah.
The prediction game among pros has been wild to watch. Paulie Malignaggi, who knows Floyd's style as well as anyone, said he'd bet his house on Mayweather winning this exhibition. Paulie broke down how Floyd would simply outbox Mike for however many rounds they agreed to, make him miss constantly, and probably showboat while doing it. But then you've got guys like David Benavidez saying that Mike's raw power gives him a puncher's chance in any fight, regardless of age or opponent.
Tyson doesn't have that crazy head movement that he had in his youth. First of all, that's an energy-burning style. At 58 years old, you're not pulling that style off. Tyson didn't even have that style in his mid-30s when he was almost at retirement age. He was already not moving his head like that. It's not, something scripted. Yeah, even if it's an exhibition, it's fine. As long as these guys are trying to work, showing up and working at it. But again, a guy who's 58 years old, only Texas would really sanction something like this. A 58-year-old guy, I mean, how many ounces of gloves are they going to wear?
What's really interesting is the split among heavyweight fighters specifically. Some of them think Mike's size and power advantages are bigger factors than people realize. One active heavyweight contender mentioned in an interview that Floyd has never felt the kind of force that even an older Mike Tyson can generate. There's a massive difference between welterweight power and heavyweight power. Even if the heavyweight is nearly 60 years old, that physical reality could change the entire dynamic of how this fight plays out. Deontay Wilder weighed in on social media with a take that surprised a lot of people. Wilder said that power is the last thing to leave a fighter, and Mike Tyson had scary power even by heavyweight standards in his prime. Wilder mentioned that he's seen footage of Mike hitting pads recently, and the snap on his punches is still there. According to Wilder, if Floyd makes one defensive mistake and Mike catches him clean, The fight could end in spectacular fashion regardless of it being an exhibition. The technical analysis coming from coaching circles has been fascinating too. Teddy Atlas did a whole segment breaking down what Mike would need to do to have success. Atlas emphasized that Mike can't just brawl and throw wild shots. That's exactly what Floyd wants. Instead, Atlas suggested Mike needs to be patient, use feints to set up his attacks, and most importantly, work the body early to slow Floyd down. Atlas specifically mentioned that body shots could be Mike's best weapon because Floyd's never had to deal with that kind of power.
Right, number one, advantage, disadvantage, age, right? I put even. They each get a check. They're both old, right? So that's number one. The defensive style of Mayweather, I gave a check to Mayweather having the edge here. And yeah, Mayweather's fresher, but inactivity could affect his timing, especially early in the fight. So never.
Well, his style has evolved. I don't think he uses angles as much as he used to because that calls for a different type of balance. One thing that he did do is he stayed true to the fundamentals, and that's what allowed him to fight into a later age.
Several trainers have pointed out something most casual fans don't think about. The ring size is going to be crucial for how this fight goes. If they use a smaller ring, Mike has a much better chance of cutting off Floyd's escape routes and forcing exchanges. In a larger ring, Floyd can use his superior footwork to stay away from danger all night long. Sources claim that ring size is actually one of the negotiating points being discussed, which tells you both camps understand how important that detail really is. Virgil Hunter, who trained Andre Ward for years, gave his perspective on a podcast recently. Hunter broke down the stylistic matchup from a pure technical standpoint. He explained that Floyd's shoulder roll defense is perfect for dealing with straight punches and jabs, but it can be vulnerable to hooks and uppercuts thrown at the right angles. Mike Tyson's entire offensive system was built around hooks and uppercuts. Hunter suggested that if Mike can get inside Floyd's long jab and...
Remember this, when we get in the ring, it's up to the two fighters. It has nothing to do with the crowd. They can scream, they can holler, they can shout. This is what I do. At the end of the day, I don't have to brag, I don't have to boast, I don't have to tell y'all what I can do. The world knows what I can do, so he has to show the world what he can do.